Hey guys, I'm Corksurl, and this is another Ember video, but we're doing it on the experimental save, or the experimental beta branch, and I just wanted to go over the patch notes, just the general ideas that they're going to be trying to implement in the next update, in the 1.5 update, and this is just strictly skill changes and some relic changes. Obviously, they're not showing us everything, and everything is subject to change. But yeah, let's go over it. So, the experimental balancing, skill upgrades, and relics. Please note, only English descriptions, blah, blah, blah. Okay, adjustments. Skill selectors. They removed upgrades options from skill selectors in Skogfirth and the first half of Steadfast Citadel. So the way that they did that is skill selectors will only have 2 options, and then there will be deluxe skill selectors, and those ones will have upgrade options. You'll only get deluxe skill selectors in the second half of A2 and onwards. Not sure how it works for looping yet. I haven't tried that. But here's the first upgrade that is getting nerfed. Now, once again, numbers are subject to change. Skill. Blast Bomb upgrade 3. They reduce the damage on the 3 bombs by 50%. So the 3 bombs inherently increase the damage by 3x, but now they're reducing it by about 50%. So you'll still gain about 50% damage overall. Honestly, great change. I do feel like the Blast Bomb upgrade 3 was really, really strong if you scaled your skill damage early. I don't know if 50% reduction is too much or too little. I think it's too much. Maybe if it was like 66%, each bomb did 66% of the damage. I think that would be really nice. Next one, Knight's Charge Ultimate Upgrade. Requires hitting unique enemies to refresh. So basically what this means is you can't hit the same enemies over and over. Let's say you hit the 3 enemies, because the ultimate upgrade is you hit 3 enemies, 3 or more enemies with the Knight's Charge. You'll get your Knight's Charge back, which is super cool. I love that idea. And nerfing it this much, honestly, it seems like a good nerf. I really agree with this. This is balanced, in my opinion. Next one, Warrior Wisps, upgrade 3. That is the healing upgrade. So when a wisp dies, it heals all knights for 10 health, or that's what it used to be. And then it's now reduced by 50%, so it'll heal by 5 health. Honestly, probably needed, but it just feels bad for if you're doing like super late game runs, or looping lots of times, because then the health that you regen of the wisps is just like negligible, like it doesn't matter. Such a small fraction of your health that it's useless. The next one is really needed, to say the least. Hailstone Armor upgrade 3. Invulnerability clears after 5 seconds or when you attack or cast another skill. So basically what it is they change the way you stay invulnerable. It's not just 4 seconds of invulnerability. There's now a catch to it, which is you can't attack or cast another skill, which is quite nice, not gonna lie. It makes sense that they did this. They also increased the invulnerability duration to 5 seconds. It was 4 seconds, but now you can't do anything while you're invulnerable, which makes total sense, because now it's like your safety net, right? Like if you think you're going to take damage, you just proc it and then now you're immune. I think it was much needed. Now, whether this is too much or too little, I don't know. I haven't tried it, but it seems like they're going in the right direction with this upgrade. Moving on to the Ballista upgrade 2. They reduced the damage on the 3 arrows by 33%, which means each arrow is dealing roughly 66% of the damage that a normal arrow would do, which makes a lot of sense, honestly. You're still gaining a lot of damage by taking this upgrade, and ballistas are pretty broken as is. I don't know if this is too little or too much. Reducing the damage by only 33% is going to keep the skill usable and keep it fun. I think that's the right amount that you would reduce the damage by to keep it fun, keep it balanced, and keep it still usable, right? Skill Ballista upgrade 3, which is the healing upgrade. You heal 2 health for every arrow that hits an enemy from the ballistas. Honestly, that was a really strong upgrade. You could basically just out heal everything, because you'd heal so much health off of each ballista. If you also had that upgrade 2 where you have 3 arrows, each arrow would heal for 2, which means in 1 ballista shot you heal for 6 health. Like, that's so stupid. I get where they're going with that, but it was so overtuned. So this makes a lot of sense that they're nerfing this. They reduced the healing down to 1, and they also added a cap. So each ballista can only heal you for a maximum of 15 health. I think that's the right idea. It's just, it feels bad to put a cap on how much you can heal off of each ballista. Caps don't really feel good for the most part in games, but you might be able to get away with this one. I don't know. We'll definitely have to test that. Judgment upgrade 1. Reduce damage on the additional set of lightning bolts. Yeah, this was needed. 100% needed. The tier 1 upgrade for Judgment is just so good. You basically just nuke anything that gets hit by the first Judgment wave, or the first set of bolts. Anything that's hit by that, the next set just comes through and wipes it out if it didn't die from the first one. Like, definitely needed. 100% needed to nerf the additional set of lightning bolts. I fully agree with that. 50% might be a little too much, but I don't know. It seems good. Seek and Destroy upgrade 2. That was... I don't remember that upgrade, but they reduced the healing by 50%. Cloak and Dagger upgrade 1. Reduce damage on the 3 daggers by 33%. Once again, this is the same idea as the Ballista upgrade 2. They just reduce the damage because you're using 3 instances of damage. So therefore, instead of just 3xing your damage by picking up this upgrade, you're not doing that. You're just increasing it by a little less, whatever that percentage is. Honestly, still really good. I think it's still strong regardless. Arlen's Lucky Dice upgrade 1. They kind of screwed this up in my opinion. I don't know how you balance this. I really don't. It's just setting a limit of 1 gem per room, per person for this upgrade feels really bad. Now, I do understand that there needs to be some sort of limit, or they need to just completely get rid of the idea that you can get gems from it. The upgrade is super fun, but if you put a cap, it makes it unfun, right? And it makes it kind of useless in a way, because you're just not going to gain enough stats, and since it is just a random stat, it seems really pointless. I don't know. It's just something about having limits makes the game unfun. Moving on though. Lucky Dice upgrade 2. Set a limit of 2 wisps and 1 ballista. Additional rolls will replace the current wisp or current ballista. Now this is nice. I understand this. You used to be able to get like infinite wisps, infinite ballistas. Okay, maybe not infinite wisps, but like a lot of wisps and then a lot of ballistas. So now they reduced that, which makes a lot of sense because there was like so much excess damage that you just didn't really need. Honestly, balanced. I love this. The next one for Lucky Dice is the ultimate upgrade. They're nerfing it. Requires a perfect cast, and the second dice deals 75% damage. Now the damage decrease doesn't really matter because it's more about the effects that the dice gives you, but now that you have to perfect it to get the second dice, honestly great. It feels kind of bad because you have to perfect it, but it's definitely balanced. I don't know, it just... They nerfed 2 halves of the dice, which is the tier 1 where you get gems, and the ultimate where you get an extra dice, which those 2 together were really broken, but I don't know if you needed to nerf both of them. We'll have to play it out, see what the field's like. On Soul Siphon, upgrade 2, which is conjures 3 beams. That was so broken. Stupid broken. You can do so much damage with that. This makes a ton of sense where they reduce the damage by 50%. This effectively cuts your damage in half, as it says basically. But instead of getting instantaneously 3x damage when you get this upgrade, you now only gain 1.5x damage, which sort of feels bad in a way, but you know, it's something that you gotta deal with. Whether the upgrade's useless now, I don't know. It's slightly unfortunate that since it is 3 beams and they don't like hit the same enemy, they are like offsets or spread out. So maybe that's a bad upgrade now, I don't know. Well, once again, everything is subject to change and we need to test some things. The last skill that's going to be changed is Gravity Well, upgrade 1. Reduce the range of the laser and distance can be controlled by the charge time. Now, I heard this is great for the skill. I think this is a buff, but I'm not 100% sure. Seems like it could be good. I haven't really played around with this upgrade much, so I don't really know what it's about, but it seems pretty good. We'll have to test that for sure. Here are the nerfs that we knew were coming. We knew they were coming, and they just did it, you know? They came out here, and they just did it. Spell in a Bottle, the Relic. They removed the ability for the projectiles from this relic to refresh skills. Let me just repeat that just so that it's clear. removed the ability for the projectiles from this relic to refresh skills. That was the biggest issue with Spell in a Bottle, that you just refresh one skill, and then since you have, let's say you have Spell in a Bottle at level 4, which shoots out 5 Seeking Missiles, and then your skill that you're using has 5 refresh. So as soon as you refresh one skill charge, it just refreshes every other skill charge and launches out as many missiles as skill charges you have, or whatever the number is, like infinite damage. Like, it was stupid. I'm sure you guys have seen some videos that I've posted about this. So dumb. Super fun, but way too broken. Needed to be nerfed. We understand that, right? Then they reduced the projectile damage from 25 to 15, which that part also makes sense since 15 base damage, it's still skill damage, so it's still scales with skill damage, which is very, very nice. Okay, they nerfed Magic Tome as well. They just reduced damage by 5 at level 1, which honestly is not that big of a nerf. Spell in a Bottle and Magic Tome together were really, really strong in any skill damage scaling / refresh build. I'm glad they got nerfed. Maybe it's too much for Spell in a Bottle, but it'll keep the game new, you know, or refreshing, so you don't just spam Spell in a Bottle all the time. And the last thing that they're changing, that we know of at least, is Pristine Band, which they reduced the base health gain from 5 to 3, which we knew this was coming, honestly. Pristine Band was really, really strong. You could gain so much health by just perfecting a room. Every room gaining 5 health if you just perfect the room is so crazy. And the other thing they did is they reduced the maxed owned from 5 to 4, which means it can only go to level 4. Since the first level is 3 health, the second level will be 5 health, and the third level will be 7 health, the fourth level will be 9 health. So you can only gain 9 max health instead of the crazy number of, I think it was 13 that you could get at max level before. Like, that was so crazy, being able to gain 13 max health every room if you had max level Pristine Band. And it's everybody in your co-op lobby if you're playing in co-op. Like, that's so crazy. Anyways, yeah, that's all of the patch notes for this experimental. Looking over the skills, I guess, right? Like, just double checking what they actually changed. Yeah, they just nerfed a bunch of damage on things that gave multiple projectiles. And then here's the ultimate upgrade for Knight's Charge, where 3 or more unique enemies are hit by perfect Knight's Charge. It refreshes. Yeah, they nerfed Warrior Whips upgrade 3 once again. Heals for only 5. Hailstone Armor, the third upgrade. Perfect Hailstone Armor. You become invulnerable for 4 seconds or until you attack. Cooldown 5 seconds. So they also added cooldown to it. Arrows, they nerfed. Oh, right. The tier 3 upgrade. Whenever an enemy is damaged by a ballista, you heal for 1 HP. Max 15 HP per ballista. Nerf the damage of upgrade 1. The additional set of lightning bolts once again. Oh, so the Seek and Destroy tier 2 upgrade is whenever an enemy is defeated with your drill, each knight is healed for 5 HP. That it was insane then. If it was healed for 10 HP every time Seek and Destroy got a kill, that is so crazy. And once again, nerfed the tier 1 upgrade for Cloak and Dagger, reduced the damage. These feel bad for sure. Rolling a 1 also conjures a food, and rolling a 2 also conjures a gem. Max 1 each per room. Like, yikes, man. And Arlen's Lucky Dice upgrade 2. Rolling a 3 also summons a Wisp, max of 2. Rolling a 4 also summons a Ballista, max of 1. Like, that feels so bad. And plus, you have to perfect the ultimate upgrade now. I don't know. I think the tier 3 upgrade on Arlen's Dice is ultimately the best now, since the other two don't go infinite and don't really give you enough stats or food or anything. The tier 1 upgrade on Gravity Well got buffed. Oh yeah, Soul Siphon's damage got nerfed. On the tier 2 upgrade, I think they should do more than just nerf the damage on the tier 2 upgrade. Soul Siphon has so many ways of A, refreshing itself, and B, gaining a ton of skill damage for like no reason. Like, the tier 1 and ultimate is just so broken. Anyways, yeah, so that's all of the skills that have been changed and the relics that were changed. Now, if you guys want to test this experimental beta, you can go to the official Ember Knights Discord server that will have a link in the description. And if you join that, then you have to go to the experimental tab. And from there, you can find the code for the beta. And then when you go to the properties of Ember Knights, you go to betas, put in the code, tech code, and then it should be experimental. And then you should be able to play the experimental and test it out. And they're always looking for feedback on this, because last update, there was a lot of things that were too broken, too strong, you know, things like that. So they're trying to fix those things and or at least get things to a balanced state. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and please check out the beta.